Welcome to the den, authentic Barnwood. So you want to know where your wood comes from? It's from buildings like these. So when you're asking for one, this is where it's coming from. First thing that you want to do if you're doing a feature wall is take your project pack, open it up, lay it on the ground. This is your chance to do the final, like, hey, I think I need the yellow splotch here, and I need to like get gray streaking in to the yellow spots. And of course, prior to this, you painted your wall black or a dark color. And the reason for that is wood will shrink and contract no matter if it's kiln dried or not. So, and also the nail holes. So you don't want to see through and see a white wall. It'll be like a white pin sticking out of your wall. So if you don't have black, this is charcoal. And by the way, I love this color. But it can be anything dark, brown, whatever. Go to your paint store. It's usually on that sale rack because someone bought paint, got it home, and they're like, this is ugly. So use that because you're covering it up anyways. Okay, so you've got your project packs, you've opened them up, and you've laid them out all over the floor, making a kind of a pattern, right? And we're gonna want to split everything into size. So you got your 48s, 32s, and 16s, your 3 3/4, 2 1/2. You split them up into size and then further split them up into color. Trust me, this is gonna make it so much easier later. Let's go through, we'll mark on your painted wall. Let's go mark each stud. Normally 16-inch on center, however, make sure you use a stud finder and find them. There's lots of other techniques to find it if you don't have a stud finder. And you can't see on this wall, but there'll be a line when you finish your wall all the way down, just like this, of little finishing nails. And that serves as two purposes. One is to, well, the nails are used to hold the wood on until the glue sets. Two, future reference down the road, if you want to install something or you want to find a stud because you want to make sure that you anchor in, let's say, a mantelpiece and you want to anchor it into studs. Well, you just have to go back and check out your little lines, which are hardly noticeable as you can't see them in the video, but once you get up close, like, yeah, you can see a little line. Hardly, but you can see a line. So you can use that for future reference later. Keep that to yourself for a little trick and it'll be very handy for you. All right, tool time. We got a hammer, you never know. Tape measure and pencil, of course. Some stain in the background there for your trim. You might want to burn your trim. That's a pretty neat look as well. Safety glasses, because you're going to be shooting these 18 gauge nails all over the place. And to get her all locked down, I use a PL200 construction adhesive. You're gonna want a miter saw as well. That's key to this whole operation. So yeah, you get your bench set up, which is nice because it keeps you off the floor. Trim packs. That's your thin pieces that are in your shipments and they look like this. They've got a little lip on them that you can see and a beveled edge. So this is the part where you're gonna want to install this stuff on either side of your wall. Generally, it's what we tend to do and it seems to just box everything in so well. You can take your lip like this, join them together, and you get really a cool corner, right? So that works good if you're going around a wall, for example, and there's a corner and you don't know how to finish it. You could finish it like this. With this side, there's your painted wall, and on this side here is your feature wall material. So it creates a really cool modern rustic corner. That's one idea. You could go ahead, if you had a table saw, just trim this off. Use that like this, and then have all your other pieces going down. It also works great for baseboard if you want to put a baseboard on. I generally put the lip down and I put this side up. It's just kind of a cool look, and I run a little bit of stain on the top of that. I don't use PL on the trim boards, just in case you want to start taking stuff off. It's a little easier. Those brad nails will hold this on really well and it'll allow it to just flex a little bit. Hey, last note about trim packs, you can use them as bordering everything in and start your project from the top. We'll get into that. And yeah, once you get down to the plugins or the light switches, that's where we generally take this stuff and we 45 the corners and we 45 them so it creates a nice little box around the light fixture. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can just go ahead and go flat up to it. You're gonna need a box extension or something of that sort, so you can pull it out 5/8 of an inch, because that's what the project pack material thickness is in front of you. Now, the only thing to do is to start putting it together. I would recommend starting at the top of your wall and working your way down. We've built walls from the side, from the bottom, top. We've built every which way, and we found that the top, if you start there, works the best, and you work your way down to the floor. And the reason why we like this is because if you don't get your measurements quite right, you're gonna have to maybe cut some. If you want them equal, you have to cut some off the top and off the bottom. But you have to pre-measure and figure everything out first. So if you're not ready to do that kind of a step, then leaving the bottom in between 1/4 and 1/2 inch above your flooring level, which is great for if you're gonna change out your floor later on down the road. Trust me, your flooring guy is gonna like that part. Don't worry if you don't always line up on a stud. That's okay, as long as the majority of the board does. That way you can still get nails in the studs, and it'll suck that board in until that construction adhesive dries. Make sure that you stagger your joints, follow the pattern that you want, or pick a pattern on the fly. It's up to you. I mean, no matter which way you do it, it's gonna turn out unique, and I guarantee you're gonna step back and be like, wow, that's the modern rustic look. I play Lego quite a bit. If you can picture it as Lego for adults, I'm sure I'll reference that later, because it really is Lego for adults. Okay, last step is clean your wall. That can be done with just that brush there that you saw in the video. I often use that, or I often use vacuum with the handheld attachment with like the fuzzies on the end. About the size of your palm, put it on, and just go ahead and just vacuum your wall up. It'll help get rid of those little cuts from your saw, the little splinters, and it'll keep your wall looking nice in the future. We appreciate, once again, your support. Thank you, and good luck on your project.